Today we're gonna learn about level 2 pipe dreams. For index class 2, unsafe, stable, low entity count. The old one used to be like really bad, like class 5. Like everything was basically, you die if you go into there. Although the mass majorities of wanderers report entering the backrooms in level 0 and occasionally level 1, these are various accounts of level 2 being initially entered into by wanderers. At present, it is the furthest known level directly accessible from baseline reality. An image of level 2. So epic. Level 2 is a vast network of interconnected utility tunnels, maintenance shafts, and rusting pipes. Unlike the inconsistent level environments of the Backrooms, space in Level 2 does not physically shift life, lending much of the level a relative ease to navigate through. The level's architecture, which can differ from one place to another, remains largely uniform, without alteration in its diversity and appearance for each given area. Its layout, however, reportedly becomes more complex the farther one travels from the entrance point, with corridors going up and down that may impede travel or cause injury, especially in dark areas. Fortunately, however, there have been no reports of entities lurking around these areas, most likely due to the heat and extreme humidity. The supply of provisions and hydration is heavily limited in Level 2, despite the number of water pipes in the level, because no machinery or boiler rooms required for these pipes to function have been discovered, as well as the humid temperatures in various areas of the level. Rust, bacteria, and other pathogens overwhelm its insides that may contain almond water, unknown disease, mutated bacteria, and viruses that have been discovered within these networks, meaning the source of most epidemics within the backrooms is usually Level 2. These pathogens typically spread through direct contact or the consumption of liquids present in the pipes. These are to be avoided either from ingestion or even be near them to avoid accidental exposure. Geological activity in Level 2 is prevalent, and earthquakes occur as often as in regions on the Ring of Fire in the front rooms. Any powerful enough tremors can demolish and therefore render parts of the level inaccessible due to the lack of maintenance work. Although most do not have enough intensity to inflict severe damage on the level's structure. The circumstances behind these earthquakes presumably originate from the cracks within Level 2's giant concrete mass. Chunks of them may push against each other, and with these theorized crevices within, one of them may slip from stress buildup, thereafter releasing an outburst of energy. The level's temperature differs depending on where one is at, and escaping extreme areas often ends unfruitful. Those concentrated with steam pipes can rise to 60 to 100 degrees Celsius in areas where air vents are prevalent have colder temperatures. Snow may also form in certain months, but it's not known how it can enter in the first place. Exiting the level through this method is not advised, and it is rare to find a system big enough to crawl through for hours. Chipping away the concrete is also futile, as the distance between cracks within the level's matrix can be greater than of tectonic plates in the front rooms, which otherwise could be used to easily traverse through the level. My brain's fine. Instances of changing layout are also common, but the anomaly has yet to be captured by a video camera. Despite many stating that they were able to touch the seemingly hallucinatory objects exploring level 2, while simultaneously we could not prevent the changes from so occurring. And more often than not, the recording would show the person filming to be experiencing the anomaly in real time, as attested by the cameraman themselves. Therefore, the phenomenon is mainly thought to be purely an effect of being exposed to geometrical anomalies prominent in earlier levels. The only solid corroboration of the theory, a window looking that appears to be the hole, seems to be taken in a vacated attic that is partially or mostly constructed out of wood. However, no location level has matched the description other than level 2 itself, although the level is mostly constructed with concrete. Certain older areas of the level are construction out of wood, through cobwebs cannot form given that the environment is highly unsuitable for invertebrates. Oh my god, brightly lit. While there are at times signs of human activities, encounters with outside parties of wanderers currently have never been confirmed. Additionally, communication devices such as radios and walkie-talkies completely malfunction on the level. The circumstances are unknown, as linear space in level 2 does not alter drastically, nor even a slight bit, unlike level 0. However, the possibly infinite concrete span of level 2 is theorized to be the perpetrator. There are no doors that can be found, I think. So the perpetrator we saw in level 1, that's basically just a painting that tries to suck you into the painting. There are no doors that can be found, and recollections of similar fixtures such as windows, trapdoors, and scuttle doors are mostly identified as cases of paramnesia. Exits are instead found in the level's few crawl spaces, sometimes crowded by extensive and inoperated amassments of wire due to possible punctures that cause them to flood in the catastrophic stretch. Moreover, these wires do still hold electrical charge and could often result in serious injury. Although still speculate, there is a possibility that Level 2 contains an anomaly that directly influences wanderers in this level. Recent Level 2 entrance has been tested to use up more energy than the average person, as well as producing unnatural amounts of adrenaline while the body is active, e.g. running. Furthermore, most who enter Level 2 also report either being more energetic upon arrival, but more exhausted as they exit. Entities or subjects, humans, animals, born in the Backrooms, are not affected. However, and it seems only Earthlings experience the anomalous spasm. Escaping from entities while made it easier can increase risks of dying from exhaustion or further entity attacks in the long run. Additional information. So here's stuff. Right there is an old image. So here's some images. Putrid, unpolluted, need it. Entities and anomalies. While mild compared to other levels of the Backrooms, Level 2's position as a starter location for many leaves much vulnerability. You get what I'm trying to say. As most entrants are not accustomed to the presence of entities, hotspots for entity activities has been only hardly mapped, and even finding one in the first place is made impossible by the level's significant size. Entities within Level 2, i.e. clumps, hounds, smilers, and skin stealers, have adapted to scurry, headlong, and mitigate the need to retain their energy like their counterparts in the levels. Uniquely for Windows, however, rather than showing a void behind them, a hollowed out section of the level seems to lie behind the glass. The shadowy figures that appear behind them look to have a more physiological form, rather than being confined to the second dimension. Recognize that the reach of their contorted arms is more extended, possibly because of the level's layout. Let me just do something real quick. Sorry about the inconvenience. I'm back to this. Windows, however, rather showing a void behind them, a hollowed out section of the level seems to lie behind the glass. The shadowy figures that appear behind them look to have a more physiological form rather than being confined to the second dimension. Recognize that the reach of the contorted arms is more extended, possibly because of the level's layout, the biological pipeline. Found certain junctions of crawl spaces, sometimes lying behind sufficiently sizable pipes to hide their openings. These organisms can often stretch up to 20 to 2,000 kilometers from their mouth to the ends of their digestive tract. Descriptions of their physiological bodies are divisive, whatever this is, ranging from the internal organs, using the space in the cleavages to protect them to have the pipeline lines being their entire body. However, the former bear more evidence than the latter, as inflicting serious damage either through stabbings, gunshots, and grenades has resulted in them suspicious red liquid out. Going through these organic pipelines is often necessary and fortunately would rarely lead to death, as the process of digestion will only occur if the things they consume do not move after a few hours. Most of the diet comes from discarded pieces of food and weirdly debris, waste products such as sewage, poop, presumably, scavenged this and this, etc., including junk, especially ones made out of plastic, glass, metal, and rubber, using entryways to the insides can be an effective way to escape entities. However, as they generally avoid those pipeline networks in the fear of an uncertain detail. Alternative to using acids as the mean to digest their food, they secrete a base, referred to as the DuPont Bayer solution. This is quite likely due to the pipeline being constructed out of aluminum, which the solution they produce does not dissolve to presumably reduce the weight of the digestive tract the theoretical bodies are holding. Besides, most of what they consume may contain sharp edges that could pierce them if it was made out of flesh instead of material, and if an organism were to end up being digested, its stomach acid would be immediately neutralized by the alkaline, with the byproduct being the source of water and ions. The solution can dissolve within a matter of seconds. The clockwork stuff theory. Yeah, we are not here for theories. Oh wait, it's hallucinatory. If it's a monumental clockwork within its hidden mechanism hidden behind walls, you should just find it. False entrances in levels numerously not far from level 2, including the ones known not to be an entrance to the level. There may appear locations that seemingly lead to level 2, usually some signs and drawings indicate likewise near the supposed entrances with the identities of the person responsible for graffiti or hand-drawn markings being unknown. The quantities of these indications in the false entrances viewing said markings suggest that their placement was not coincidental. These locations might arise due to level 2's semblance to a utility tunnel, albeit with unconventional properties in some areas of the level. As most the levels appear to occur within commercial buildings, institutions, and industrial plants, where utility tunnels are often present. Parts of their edifice may look similar to level 2. Distinguishing the legitimate ones with the anomalies is done by turning in the direction one has entered immediately after passing through the entrance. Suppose the passageway does not disappear, replaced by an obstacle such as a wall or revealing a whole different section. That would otherwise be behind one upon entering. In that case, it means that it is a false entrance. However, there are few cases in which the entryway is a door, where one may be trapped inside the corridor that is still located within the location due to its being automatically locked after it is closed. In levels with entity presence, it is especially advised against entering these masqueraders, as one may be liquidated by the entity presence. It is especially advised against entering these. I'm sick of saying this more than one, as one may be liquidated within the corridor without an accredited weapon. These areas are relatively small and consist of one corridor of approximately 20 meters on average, colonies and outposts. Due to the nature of level 2, no major bases have been established. Small groups tend to use explosives to carve out makeshift bunker-like living areas for temporary housing or storage. Please say RIP to that Elsa base. It has been absolutely destroyed. Entrances and exits. Level 2 is the final level 1 could access by no clipping out of normal reality. No clipping out of and or entering maintenance areas in certain levels may lead to level 2. A variety of factors may cause level 1 to fade into level 2 in addition to ordinary doors and stairwells, which could grant one access to level 2. An entrance in level 11 located under a manhole cover. Entering vents that are sometimes found in level 8 leads here. Removing a manhole cover in level 11 and descending downward. No clipping into the pipes in the corridors in level 17. Bunkers in level 41 may lead here. The green door located in level 111 has a chance of transporting one here, including a myriad of other levels. Exiting through the lobby of level 318, though it may lead to other levels as well. Entering a door in level 139 has a chance of leading to level 2. That's a very high chance. Fire exit doors in level 514 lead to level 2. No clipping through paintings with a setting that resembles level 2 in level 264. Whoa. Is that AI? Whoa. Exits. Executing certain tasks and entering parts of levels may lead to its sublevels. Fire exits could lead one back to level 1 or forward to either level 3 or level 477. Entering a golden door marked with the symbol "this" will lead one to level 3. Do not. You will die there if you do. Certain hallways of level 2 possesses a chance of leading to level 4 or level 27. Coming across a sewer tunnel leads to level 34. The gradual increase of neon lighting signifies that an exit to level 699 is near. That I suggest getting to there. Footnotes. Okay, so that was the explanation for level 2. If you want more, please subscribe. Please do it. I'm begging you.